What's up? Whoa, got the ring light around my eyeballs. You ever wonder how drummers like Steve Gadd, John Bonham, Thomas Pridgen get a super fast right foot without a double kick pedal? Well, I am here to show you how to do that. All right. There's a couple different techniques, but there's one technique that I think is a little bit better than all of them, so I'm going to focus on that one. A little toe slide up the pedal. All right. Let's change the camera angle. Here we go. All right. Got the phone angled down by the foot. Now you guys can see my blackjack socks. Oh yeah. In my Vans. So the technique I'm talking about is a single foot double stroke kick drum technique, right? So you can do it at different speeds, and depending on the speed, the technique is going to change a little bit. But overall, the goal of this is to achieve a fast, quick double stroke with one foot. Even though, ironically, I have a double kick pedal set up right now, which I honestly don't use that often anymore. Yeah, I figured, why not? I'll show you how to do it on one pedal, and then you can kind of incorporate 2 feet into this as well. Cool. So this technique, I want to say John Bonham probably made this technique famous, at least with rock drummers and metal drummers. But I've seen videos of drummers before him, such as like Buddy Rich. I think I saw him do this technique a little bit. I've seen Steve Gadd use this technique a lot in drum solos. He's really good at it. And then, after that, like everybody, every rock drummer, every funk drummer, every jazz drummer started incorporating this technique because it's an awesome way to play a double stroke. So enough yapping. Here's the secret sauce. Okay, so you want to start by making sure you can play your right foot coming from the ankle. Right? So a lot of times if you're playing a slow kick drum pattern, you can kind of lift up from the hip. You get a nice heavy thumpy kick, right? That's great, and that I love that technique for slower kick drum stuff, but when it comes to faster stuff, we got to allocate some of this energy towards our smaller muscle groups and our faster ligaments and joints down at the ankle. All right, so if you can't figure out how to do that, right, get your foot off the pedal first and just flex your toe, point your toe, flex your toe, point your toe, right? Without moving your knee or your hip. Okay, so it needs to start with this. Now, a lot of times when people, students of mine, if I tell them to do that and then go over back to the pedal, they'll just kind of tap their toe on the pedal and be like, oh my God, it doesn't work, right? Right, you have to lower your leg so that you're not just tapping the pedal like this. Right? If you're lifting your foot up too high, you're just going to be tapping. Right? And you do have to kind of muscle it out at first. Your muscles aren't going to be used to doing this. So if it's uncomfortable at first, don't think that you're just automatically doing it wrong. Just make sure that you feel your shin and calf muscles doing most of the work, not your quads or hip flexors or whatever. I know I'm throwing out a lot of different parts of the leg, but this kick drum technique involves a lot of anatomy and understanding how to use different muscle groups. Anyway, so yeah, you start with that. Okay, and then gradually speed it up. See if you can control the pedal. It's also a battle to kind of control the momentum and the weight of a kick drum pedal. Every pedal is going to feel different too. Some pedals are not going to have as much weight to the beater. Some pedals are a little bit looser, right? It's not going to have as much tension on it. So everything's going to feel different. I personally like to have a good amount of tension on my kick pedal. That way I can just drive like a ton of energy into it. and it's going to give me that energy back. But, do what feels best. Try a bunch of different tensions with the springs. Try different kick pedals. Try different beaters if you can afford to do that. So, in order to slowly turn this into a double kick, or I should say a double stroke pattern. All right, here's the approach. So the first note, you can kind of see I kind of do lift my leg a little bit to get some momentum. I'm coming down with the ball of my foot. And then on the second note, that's when I'm primarily using my calf and my ankle to work for that second note. Now, I've been doing this for many years, and my muscles are just accustomed to twitching that fast. At first, you might feel like you don't have that control. It's probably not going to feel good or sound that good. But just see if you can get two notes that sound somewhat similar in volume, right? Still mostly just two fast ankle twitches, right? It just takes practice. Okay. And then eventually, when you're trying to get it super fast, that's when I start incorporating a little bit of a slide up the pedal. On the second note, I'm actually sliding my foot up the pedal. So I kind of start not super far back, but maybe towards the middle of the pedal. Okay, and then by the second note, I'm way up there, like my toes at the top of the pedal. Now that gives you an extra boost of velocity on that second note, so that the second note isn't really weak. And also, it just kind of helps out with the speed of it too. It's the volume and the speed. All right, so I do kind of open up my knee. Okay, here's the knee cam. But yeah, it takes time. It takes practice. It takes hours and hours and hours and hours and years to get it to where you can just crank it. Okay. So this is great if you're a single pedal guy or girl. If you're not about that double kick life, which most of the time I'm not rocking a double kick. I'm going to show you a couple different musical ways you can apply this. So one way, you can do it in fill. You could use it in a drum beat as well. I recommend wearing shoes. You can do it barefoot, but if your feet get a little sweaty, they get kind of stuck. You could do socks. Personally, socks only feels weird. It's too slippery. So I like to use Vans. They got the perfect bottom. Right? It's not too grippy. It's not too slippery. Cool. Anyway, I'm going to cut it off there. There's not much more to add. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll try and respond to all of them. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I need to be more active on here. I've just been so busy with gigs and other stuff going on right now, but I do want to be more active on here. So let me know if there's any ways I could explain this technique better. But yeah, go ahead, try it out, practice, be patient. It takes a while. Your feet are not as smart as your hands.